Hey, everybody. You never really get to see me in the other classes. My kids get to see me in the morning meeting. So I'm Mrs. Hicks, and I'm the one that usually teaches you writing. This week is pretty simple because what it is it's review and it's tests for your report cards. So what we're going to do is just quickly go through everything you've learned in the next couple of days. Just a review. No pictures, no nothing. Just here's a word, here's a definition. And then when you know all these parts of sentences, you can create better sentences, all right? So the very first word that you learned was nouns. Remember that a noun is a person, place, or thing in a sentence. It can also be an emotion like love and anger, but as you get to be better writers, you learn about that one. So it's a person, place, or thing, or animal. Animal goes into the people category, or a creature, an animal. And the sentence shows you Billy went to the store to buy a toy. Billy is a noun, store is a noun, and toy is a noun. Billy's a person, a store is a place, and a toy is a thing. Very important that sentences usually contain 2 or 3 nouns in them rather than one, because that's a much better written sentence and it has a lot more details. The next sentence, the jellyfish floated in the vast ocean. Jellyfish is a creature, it's an animal, and the ocean is a place. And those are your nouns, person, place, or thing, or animal in a sentence. Next word is verb. You learn what verbs are. And a verb is an action or a doing in the sentence. It is what the noun does. My cat Olivia ate all of her food today. Ate is what Olivia is doing. You could see her doing it. If you'd listened to her a while ago, she was in there going, munch, munch, munch. All right. And she was driving me crazy. And I was like, would you quit eating so loud? So now she's done. So it's past tense. And the word is ate. Did you see the car speed down the road? All right. Now, this one was a little bit harder, but if you think about it, the car is the subject. And what is the car doing? It's speeding. It's sped. It sped down the road, past tense. It's speeding down the road. It speeds down the road. Did you see the car speed down the road? And that is the action in a sentence. Our next word is adjective. And an adjective is what describes a noun. It's the color, the size, the shape, the smell, the touch, the hearing, the seeing, and the tasting. They are what makes a sentence interesting. Without adjectives, you've got boring. You've got kindergarten and first grade sentences. So you want to add at least one adjective to every sentence that you write that you can. The little dog jumped on the big fat frog. Little describes dog. Big fat describes frog. Those are your adjectives. The furry bunny scampered over the rotten log. Furry describes bunny. Rotten describes log. Okay, so those are your adjectives. How do they describe the nouns? So I always tell kids, underline your nouns in a sentence and at least put one really good adjective in there describing that noun. Got it? All right, let's go to compound words. Now, compound words are pretty easy. You learned them in kindergarten and first grade. What they are is you have one word over here that has a meaning. You have another word over there that has a meaning. And when you put the two words together, they create a whole new word. So you have butter plus fly equals butterfly. You have cow plus boy equals cowboy. You have mail plus box equals mailbox. And so if you can break a word down into two separate words, and when they're alone, they have a meaning, but when they come together, they have a new meaning, then you have a compound word. All right? Do you notice I talk with my hand a lot? All right? Contraction. A contraction is when you have two words and you make them into one. You use an apostrophe to take the place of the missing letters, such as cannot becomes can't, is not becomes isn't, she is becomes she's. And if you notice, the apostrophe took the place of the letters we removed. All right. And the only reason that we have contractions is because when we started talking and speaking to each other more and more, What happened was is we started pushing words together and they become a new word, which is a contraction. All right, next word is pronoun, and a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. It is a noun in disguise because you really don't know what that pronoun is exactly meaning. So you have to be careful of pronouns because sometimes when you read a sentence, you wouldn't know what it really meant or who you're talking about specifically. All right, so it says, Mary threw the football to Sally and Jim. No pronouns. Now listen to this change. She threw it to them. So if you had just written she threw it to them, you could have been talking about Betty, Jaylyn, Olivia. You don't really know. What did she throw? She threw it. Well, did she throw a ball? Did she throw a pan? Did she throw a big pile of poo? Did she throw a booger? What exactly did she throw? So see how there are nouns in disguise. They're hidden, and we really don't know exactly what they mean. So every once in a while, it's really good to use nouns or pronouns in sentences, but you have to be careful of them because nobody's going to really know exactly who you're talking about or what you're talking about because they kind of hide the noun. All right. Homophone. A homophone are words that sound the same, but they have different spellings and meanings. They are confusing words, all right, because you go, okay, there, and there. There, the first one means people. That was their car. The second one means a place. I was going over there after school. And there is a contraction, which means they're going with me to the movies. They are going with me to the movies. This is one of the number one misspelled words in the world because everybody uses that one for this one. So you have to be real careful and understand these. Buy, and buy, meet, and dear. Those are all homophones, words that sound the same, but they have different meanings. Okay, that's all I'm going to review today. So I hope you go, oh yeah, I know these now. I know how to recognize them in sentences. I know how to do them. So now what you're going to do is you're going to play a game I made for you. Please don't use your arrows. Only use your, not your enter, but your mouse or your just hit the click. Okay, it's click. If you want to run it and you don't want to play it right, then you just go through it and it's no fun. So what I do is if I have only my mouse pad or my pad on my computer, I click that. If I have a mouse, I just click my mouse if you want to have fun. So I hope you enjoy the game. All right. And I'm glad you get to see me, some of you, because you don't really get to see me a lot.